Okay, today's lesson is over el futuro irregular, or the irregular future tense in Spanish. Okay, so let's take a look at these irregular verbs. There are 12 irregular verbs in the future tense. Okay, 12. They can be divided into 3 categories. So those 3 categories are the drop E, the doctors, or DR verbs, and the pirates. Okay? Just a way to organize them. Irregular future tense verbs change their stem before adding the same endings as regular future tense verbs. Okay? So the endings will be the same. It's just the stems that change. Okay? All right. So let's take a look at the first group, which is the drop E. They are formed by dropping the E from the infinitive before adding the endings. Okay, so let's take a look. We have caber, which means to fit. So notice that that E is dropped before those endings are added. So the yo form is cabré, tú cabras, él cabra, nosotros cabremos, vosotros cabréis, and ellos cabran. Okay? Haber is another one of those verbs that is this drop E verb. So notice that the E is dropped from the infinitive and then the endings are added. So it's habré, habrás, habrá, habremos, habréis, habrán. Okay? Haber means to have. However, it's a helping verb that we're going to learn about more next chapter. Okay? All right, so there's 3 more drop E verbs. Poder, okay, which means can or to be able. So the yo form of poder is podré, then tú podrás, él podrá, nosotros podremos, vosotros podréis, and ellos podrán. Okay? Querer is another one of the drop E verbs. Querer means to want. The yo form is queré, to form querrás, then the el form is querrá, nosotros querremos, vosotros querréis, and ellos querrán. Okay, notice that that E drops from the infinitive, so those 2 R's are together now. Okay, the last one is saber in this group. Saber means to know information. The yo form is sabré, tú sabrás, él sabrá, nosotros sabremos, vosotros sabréis, and ellos sabrán. All right, next group is our doctor verb group. Okay, so the second group is called the doctor verbs. They are formed by changing the vowel from the infinitive ending to a D before adding the endings. Okay, so poner, for example, notice that that E of the infinitive changes to a D. Okay, so the yo form is pondré, then tú pondrás, él pondrá, nosotros pondremos, vosotros pondréis, and ellos, ellas, ustedes pondrán. Okay? Tener is another one of those verbs that is this doctor verb. So the E changes to a D. Okay, so the yo form is tendré, tú tendrás, él tendrá, nosotros tendremos, vosotros tendréis, and ellos tendrán. Okay? All right, more doctor verbs. There are 3 more. So we have venir. Notice that the I changes to a D in this one. So the yo form is vendré, tú vendrás, él vendrá, nosotros vendremos, nosotros vendréis, and ellos vendrán. Okay? Salir is another one. Salir, the yo form is saldré, tú saldrás, él saldrá, nosotros saldremos, vosotros saldréis, and ellos saldrán. Okay? The last one that belongs to this group is valer, which means to be worth. The yo form of valer is valdré, tú valdrás, él valdrá, nosotros valdremos, vosotros valdréis, and ellos valdrán. Okay? Now we've come to our last group, which are the pirate verbs. Okay? The final group is the pirate verbs. When you say the changed infinitive, you sound like a pirate, okay? It's kind of silly, but just a way to remember it. So the endings are taken off of the infinitive in these two, all right? Then the C changes to an R, pirate. With decir, the E will change to an I. Okay, so let's take a look at decir first. So decir means to say. Okay, the yo form of decir is dire. So notice that the IR has been taken off, the E changes to an I, and then the C changes to an R. Okay, so R pirate. Dire is the yo form again. Tú dirás, él dirá, nosotros diremos, vosotros diréis, and ellos dirán. Now with hacer, the only thing that changes is that C to an R. Okay, you have to take the ending off of this one as well. Hacer means to do or to make. Okay, the yo form of hacer is haré. Tu form is harás. El form is hará. Nosotros is haremos. Vosotros is haréis. And ellos is harán.